Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about Americana, written by Chimamanda Adichie. I'm just going to give a quick review of the book because I recently just read it, so I thought why not just talk about it here since I needed someone to talk to it about, and this is the best way I have to do that. I read this book because I I have known Chimamanda for a while, and she's one of the most popular Nigerian authors, probably the most popular of our generation, and she's really celebrated as an icon of Nigerian literature and literary fiction all across Africa. Her books have been translated in many languages. I think about 30, many, a lot. And they are being read, African schools, even in schools outside of Africa, as these very great literary pieces in literature and whatever, stuff like that, the good stuff. So I thought, why not read one of her books and see what is in it, what makes it great, what makes her writing so great, how I can use her writing style to improve mine and incorporate it in my own writing. So I have a lot to say about her writing. Her writing is really good. I like the way she uses her punctuation. I like how she uses commas to just string up many ideas into these large sentence structures and still make it look simple. And well, basically, she knows how to make large statements, large sentence structures into bite-sized chunks so that you can easily just take them in, if you understand what I'm saying. And she has a way of using big vocabulary, using big words, and still not affecting the point of the story. What I'm trying to say is that you can read the book, not understand the words, and still get the point of the story and still get the message that she's trying to pass across, which is very impressive for a writer. Overall, I have read books by many authors from many countries and of different backgrounds, and I can say that hers is like one of the best I've seen, and I'm really impressed by her writing. And but the story though, the story of this book, Americana, is not one that I'm impressed with. Maybe it's because I read so much um, genre fiction that um, I really don't get this book. Maybe it's because I need to read more literary fiction, but I think the book didn't really have a solid genre, a solid plot, so to speak. It didn't have a solid plot. The plot was basically all over the place. She talked about one thing, they moved to another, they moved to another, and down to the end of the story, I didn't really get the message she was trying to pass across with the whole story. The story is just a collage of different topics, different ideas. At one point, it was about secondary schools in Nigeria. At one point, it was about love. At some point, it was about military rule. Then it became about America. Then it became about racism in America. Then it became about Obama. Then it suddenly became about elitism in Nigeria. It was just this collage, this Frankenstein of ideas put together to become a book. And I think for the main story, I think half of the pages used would have done justice to this story. I think it could have been a lot less, but it's still the choice of the author, and I think it was a good one because the book is generally accepted. It is really loved. It has a 4.3 rating on Goodreads, which is really high. So overall, it was a success. But personally, I didn't like the story that much. But what kept me going, what kept me reading through the book was the characters and the writing style. The characters had a lot of depths. I really liked the supporting characters, the side characters. I think Chimamanda does this thing where she gives a backstory and she says at least one thing about each character that's been involved in the story, even the ones that never show their faces again. in the book. She still talks about them. She still drops one point or the other about them, and it kind of makes you interested in them. There are a lot of supporting characters that I was really interested in, a lot more than the main character. I think the story would have been good following one of those characters, like like Ifemelu's aunt, Auntie Uju. I think she had more story than Ifemelu. I think she would have made a better character, a better main character, but that would change the whole point of the story because she's an entirely different person. And while reading the book, I was constantly thinking, what is she doing? What like what is going on in Auntie Uju's life? I need to know what's going on. And I didn't get that satisfaction at the end of the day, but it was still good overall. I don't, I'm not complaining. But for the main character, personally, I think I didn't like her that much. She reminds me of a lot of people whom I don't like. So, okay, I'm not going to be that petty, but I didn't like her. I didn't like her that much. She had a lot of opinions about. She has opinions about everything. She spoke about a lot of things. She had this race blog where she blogged about racism in America, and we read a lot of those blog posts in the book. She spoke about racism a lot. Spoke about Obama a lot. I don't really care about those topics. Well, I'm in Nigeria. Okay, I know we're affected by racism, but that really isn't the biggest of our problems, so I really don't care about it. I've never been to an airport before, so. But either way, um, I think she fell into the background too much. She was like a person just in the back seat, watching the back seats of a bus, watching the entire bus happen, watching the entire school from the back seats, and all the kids in the bus were the other characters, and they were just doing their things, and she was just watching. That's how it felt with her as the main character. Then there's Obinze, who is her supposed love interest. But according to the blog, Obinze is the second main character, but I don't really see him as a main character. To me, he's just someone that was there as a love interest. That's what he is in the story. But I didn't. The story didn't talk much about him. There wasn't so much time being spent on him in the story, so you just can't grow on him as one of the main characters. He just falls back as the love interest, basically. And I actually liked him because he's very relatable. I think I'm also a Nigerian male in his position in life, trying to figure out what to do, trying to figure out where I want to go, what I want to do, how I'm going to get the fuck out of here. So those things, those are things you think about as a Nigerian male, and it was perfectly captured in him as a character. So I guess I can relate to that with him going to Europe and his adventures there and all those things. I think it was well written. It is something that we as we as Nigerian men can pretty much relate to. But I'm not trying to speak for everyone here. But I did I did think he was kind of an idiot when he got back together with, okay, spoiler alert, he got back together with Ifemelu, and man, that relationship was toxic as hell. I mean, he left his good marriage and his child for someone who is probably going to leave him again. Well, who left him once and is probably going to leave him again. That was shit, and I thought it was foolish for that, but I guess it also happens, and it was still great to read, and it was fun following the characters. A lot of them grew on me, except the main character, Ifemelu. I think she was pretty annoying, really annoying, and I couldn't care for it. I didn't care for it, but it was still good. Overall, I'll rate the book a 4 star. I'll give the book a 4 star rating, although it had like a 4.3, but I think 4 star is good enough for it. 4 star is great enough. If you think the book should be more than that, please let me know in the comment section. Well, that's all I have for this review. The book was a good one. It was a nice read. I think just 500 pages wasn't that much, and overall, it was one that I really enjoyed. And coming to the author, I think Chimamanda is a very respected woman, a very respected author, and a very respected woman, not just in Nigeria but across the world. Her books, her works, her blogs are read in great distances and are held in very high regard. I mean, she has a lot. She has TED talks, a lot of interviews. She talks about feminism, and to come out from a conservative society like Nigeria and still uphold your values and still talk the way she talks, I think is very impressive. Not a lot of people have opinions, but none of them talk. That is something. That's something nobody says. A lot of people, a lot of girls, a lot of women have opinions, but none of them talk. But she uses her platform. She uses her status to talk a lot about these things that affect women. I'm not saying I agree totally with everything she says. There are a lot of times I feel she should just shut the fuck up, but it's still impressive the way she gives her opinions, and you can see it in this book. She has a lot of opinion. I mean, this book is like a thesis of a lot of things combined together into a book, into a piece of a fiction book. So I just think she is impressive, and I would really like to get to that level where I can use my words. I can have my words reach out to so many people in different languages. I mean, that's part of the reason why I read the book. I wanted to know what makes her special. I wanted to know how she does it, how she writes, um, how she uses the words, how she uses the vocabulary, how she uses the language to get to these people. And it was worth it. I'm really impressed by it. I'm really impressed by it. It is a great read. So that is all I have for this video today. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It really helps me. It encourages me to make more videos. Well, I'm going to make more videos either way. I really don't care. So thank you for watching. See you later.